Welcome back, MMA Sucker fans, and Happy New Year. My name is Nate Freeman, and I am joined now by the Titan FC welterweight champion, Dilano Taylor. Dilano, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm really, really good right now.
I'm glad to hear that. You just defended your title last month for the first time. Tell me, now that you're almost a month removed from that fight, A, how you're feeling, and B, what your thoughts on the fight are now that you've had a chance to sort of reflect on it.
Um, I'm feeling pretty good, pretty great, very confident in my ability to take on whatever challenges come, to any challenges that I face next. Um, Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I feel really good. Um, and you said, what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so talk to me about the fight. You're almost a month removed from it. What have your reflections been since fight night about the fight, how you felt it went, and yeah.
Okay, so my reflections about the fight. Um, I had to watch it a couple times. So I watched it the first time. I was like, damn, man, this was this was a good fight. Um, I definitely looked at that fight and I thought to myself, man, like I really could have, really was like, the game plan was more so to be in the fight for 5 rounds with whoever. I mean, let's say he pulled out last second, and I just wanted to be able to just go out there and just win off skills alone. Even on my worst night, perform to a decent degree. So watching the fight really showed me that even on my worst night, I could still pull out a W. Definitely not my best performance, but what definitely wasn't my worst performance. I showcased a lot of just fundamental skills that I've really just been working. For him specifically, for Marcus Edwards, I mean, from watching his old fights and stuff that he did previously, there wasn't really much that I could really see. You know, um, he wasn't as active as I think he should have been, like previously, fight wise. Nor was he as active in the fight. He just threw a bunch of crazy spinning kicks and you know he tried to throw everything with his whole body and probably land a shot that'll knock me out. But nah, um, he basically just understood like how solid my chin is, how solid my focus is, how solid my defense is. So watching that fight really just showed me that even on my worst night, I still come out on top.
Have there been any differences between how you felt in the fight and like looking back? Maybe you'd see it and you don't remember that's how it felt like, or how you saw it going in the actual moment.
In the actual moment, I felt like everything was really in slow motion. Like I felt like I was moving slower than I normally move. I feel like I was reacting a lot slower than I normally react. And then I watched the fight and I'm moving really fast. Like I'm actually like it's very high pace. I'm really moving. I'm really getting active, but I'm just not as active as I normally am. Like in the gym, I'm pretty much very active, more active than I was in that fight. Um, but in the fight, everything just felt like it was in slow mo. I felt like it was in slow mo when I was throwing punches and reacting, but it felt very fast when the rounds were going because I was in the fifth round and I was like, "Are we in the third round?" I wasn't even aware of like what round I was in.
Interesting. Now you got through your first title defense. Sounds like unscathed. Talk to me. It's the new year, and obviously, with the new year, everybody wants to know New Year's resolutions and plans for the year and all of that. Talk to me about where you envision yourself at the end of this year.
Where I envision myself at the end of this year is in a big organization making boatloads of money. Hopefully like the UFC if I can potentially. I mean, I know there are a bunch of other organizations out there like Bellator and PFL, and of course the UFC is always, you know, where everybody wants to start. I'm also not rushing to get to the UFC. I mean, when I get there, I want to be able to say I stayed there. There's a lot of guys who go from one organization to another organization, or they'll get rushed and pushed too early into a big organization, and they just weren't ready for the pressure, and they just weren't ready for it mentally. I feel like I'm ready for whatever opportunity comes my way, and I feel like I'm ready for whatever position that I'm put in to come out on top. So, As far as New Year's resolutions go, I just want to. My goal is to at least pull 5 fights out my ass. Do the same exact things that I've been doing. I'm staying the course. I'm really focused and locked in on what I've been doing to begin with, and I'm just ready for whatever happens. Um, Definitely a big organization for sure, making good money. But you know, if it's the UFC, if it's not the UFC, there's no rush.
Well, I hope to see you at the end of the year in the UFC as well. Can you tell me if you do plan on defending your Titan belt? Are there any names on the top of your head that you um, are thinking about calling out, or is there anybody in particular that you want to fight for Titan?
There's no one in particular that I want to fight for Titan. As far as defending the belt, I have no idea what the future has for that. Um, like you said, I fought like a couple weeks ago, and I feel like I've grown significantly even since that fight. Since then, like mentally and like physically, I have a better understanding of what it takes to really be a champion, what it takes to really be on top, what it takes to really be considered as one of the elite, one of the best of the best. So as far as call outs, I'm the champ. I don't need to call anybody. They need to call me out. I'm not searching for anybody. There's no names that I need to be looking for. At the end of the day, like I'm the hunter who's being hunted. So there's nothing that I need to. There's nothing and no one that I really need to look for or search for. They need to search for me.
Fair enough. And obviously, you train at one of the best gyms around, and especially one of the best gyms for welterweights. It seems like in Sanford MMA. A lot of UFC welterweights train there, like Ian Gary, like Jason Jackson's with Bellator, but he's one of the top contenders there. Gilbert Burns, et cetera, et cetera. Talk to me about the confidence that it gives you that you're in the training room with all of these people in your weight class that are succeeding right in your home gym.
The confidence it gives me is, man, it's exponential. I feel like just being at that gym, I've grown the most in my career overall. Like when I first got to Sanford, I was 1-1 as a pro, and now I'm on a 6 fight win streak. The days of just showing up and putting in the grind and just sure you get beat up, you get little bumps and bruises, but you just keep showing up. You keep showing up to try to be the best. You keep showing up to want to be better. You keep showing up until you can finally grasp the understanding of what it takes to be the top dog. And to understand that sometimes it's not always about being the top dog. Sometimes you're the hammer, and some days you're the nail. And I've had my fair share of days of being the nail, and now I just want to be as sharp as possible, being the hammer or being a hammer at the gym. Those guys are like older brothers I look up to. I mean, Ian's pretty new; he's my age, so he's a really good look to have around the gym. We're pretty much the same build, same height, so she's like a really good look for guys my height. Um, yeah, Ian's fairly new to the gym, but he's still a good look to have, as a taller, longer, welterweight. I feel like this next generation of welterweights are just going to be tall, really tall, skinny guys. But having guys like Gilbert, Jason, who else? Gilbert, Jason, even Vicente when he comes through are like really good looks. Like they're like bigger brothers. Guys I can go to for advice about how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking, even about game planning when it's time. So it's really good to have those guys around at the gym for looks.
Yeah, I'm sure. And obviously, Jason Jackson served as your main cornerman.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Jamaica and you're from Jamaica. Do y'all ever share any sort of like Jamaican stories? Any
All the
type of
time, all the time, every day at the gym.
what
There's
kind
always
of what are some examples?
like we just have like a very similar commonality when it comes to just mindset on like things that we do, how we grew up. Even right now, like I do work with him. Like he has a tree trimming business, and I just go up, climb trees, chop trees down with him, stuff like that. It's just like the idea of just understanding what it takes to put the work in and do the hard work when it's time to do the hard work and not be afraid to do the hard work is a very common mindset that we have together. Um, as well as food that we eat, same food, of course, culture wise. Jason's just a really funny guy to be around. Just like a lover of life, a lover of people. You know, Jason is just that guy. Like he's definitely like my older brother. When it comes to the aspect of like who I can go to talk to for anything and everything like that. Impa Kasanganai is also another guy. He was also in the UFC. Um, I believe he just recently got released, but he's also like a guy I can go to talk to for anything, even though like you know, he's a newer face, but being around him, he's really good energy. Him and Jason are both really good energy to have. I've had Impa and Jason both in my corners for a few fights. So those are guys that I go to look for, you know, advice. Um, Sometimes when you're down, you need a little self belief. You need that little push. Those are the guys I can go to for that, you know. So it's always nice to have those guys around.
Yeah, I'm sure. So how? I mean, I'm going to change the topic a little bit to walkout songs.
Okay.
Talk to me about what your mindset is for that, like because I'm going somewhere with this, but just talk to me, I guess, about where
Okay.
what you think about how you choose your walkout song.
Okay. So basically, I'll talk a little bit about amateur career in the early parts of my career. So when I was amateur, I'd always walk out to like trap music or really vulgar hood type music to like get me pumped and get me hype or whatever, and then I go out there and fight. And normally those fights would end in the first round, but I'd always feel like super overwhelmed and super anxious. And then there was a fight that when I was an amateur that did go to like further than I expected it to go because as amateur most of my fights ended in the first round. So I remember that fight so vividly because I burnt so much energy, like getting hyped to the song. I felt like my emotions were so tied into the song and tied into my music that I got overwhelmed and super anxious and super excited and super jittery to where like I couldn't control myself. Now it's better now. Now I can like control how I'm feeling. But the reason why I listen to a lot of like reggae or slow songs like when I walk out is more so for the mental aspect of being calm, being peaceful, being at peace, knowing and understanding that I'm about to go in a battle, like about to fight, about to go in war. It's me trying not to meet war with the aggression that most people would want to have, um, trying to be like in a very calm, loaded mindset, knowing what I need to do and understanding what I need to do. The calm music kind of helps me to be present, more present, if that makes sense. I
It
can walk
does.
out to the hype stuff. Yeah, I can walk out to the hype stuff. I've done it before, and it's taking me to a different place than I feel like walking out to my reggae has taken me to.
I'm sure that you've probably been asked this before, but I feel like one of those, not as hype songs that would fit you well, since your nickname is the Postman, is "Please, Mr. Postman" by the Marvelettes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
have you been told that before?
Oh wait a minute, it's the Postman. Yeah, I've been told that before. Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
consider
I've
walking out to that, or
I've
is
actually
that
thought
just
about I've actually thought about walking out to that a couple of times actually. Like it's always like in the queue on my phone because I make like a list of like walkout songs, so like I don't have to overthink or feel like oh man now it's a hard game of what song I want to walk out to. I just have a list, and just pick out a song from there that because I know I'm gonna like it. I know like it's the songs for me, the songs for me. So like I already know I'm gonna like it. But I haven't listened to that song enough to be like, oh, this is the song that's gonna do it for me. This is a song that's gonna make me, walk out very well. But I've definitely thought about it for sure, most definitely.
okay? I just wanted to know that. Um, and then earlier today, I saw. I mean, you showcased that just a little bit just now, but you were singing in the car. Um, Obviously, you were sort of singing over the radio, but
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear you sing a little bit more of that song without the radio. I'm putting you on the spot here.
You trying to hear if I got a singer voice?
That's right.
I'll leave that for the ladies. I'll leave that for the ladies. Ladies
Okay.
need to know
Fair enough. Fair enough.
that.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. If there's any sponsors or any people that you want to shout out, feel free to go ahead and do that now. Any social medias that you want the fans to follow or anything like that.
Yeah, guys, follow me on IG. Postman Taylor. You're gonna see Delano Taylor. You know this handsome devil. He's gonna be on there. Shout out to a few sponsors. Grit Fit, Sanford MMA, of course. They're in my gym. Um, Fuss Free LLC, Cash Not Funding. Of course, Thrasher Hemp Pump. Pretty good. For your dog's needs, of course. Um, at the top of my head, KO Reps. You know my management. Um, I think that's just about it. I can't think of anybody else right now at the top of my head.
All right, fantastic. That's been Delano Taylor. I wish you the best of luck in this year. And like I said, I hope to see you in the UFC by the end of the year like you hope.
Yeah, appreciate you, boss.